Hello, and Labas. Welcome to another episode of the Payne Family Ultimate Decades Challenge. The year's 1386, it's day one, and we're here starting with the main Paynes, where, as you might have just seen, Lucia is back, and so is Selma. They're out gathering firewood right now. Esmond is over here harvesting, because I realized I forgot to put into the calendar any day to harvest, so I've gone ahead and said, hey man, it's gonna be today. Oh, Selma must be back. Selma, instead of talking to your son, do you mind using your basket and going out foraging? Thank you, because I don't think we have any base materials. Thanks, Genevieve. It's Genevieve's birthday today, so that's pretty exciting. But also today is when Esmond is going to introduce Mirabelle to his family and propose. Although it's bittersweet because as you saw at the beginning of the episode, Edgar is in some trouble. So go ahead and take a look at the war rolls for last year's Battle of Algebirata. Okay, so on a d20, the number 14 means death. I guess Edgar first. He's fine. What about Selma and Cole? Okay, thank goodness. I'd be really gutted if we lost one of them, to be honest. So now we're gonna see if anything happens to them from going to the war campaign, but normally number 7 means emotional injury, and today I'm gonna make it mean that instead they get thrown overboard on the journey back, and that's what happens instead. So for Edgar first, oh my god, you've gotta be kidding me. Why do I do this to myself? I thought, oh, it'll be so funny to put it in there, but nobody's gonna get it. And then I just say it and then it happens. All right, and Selma. Nothing, and Cole. Nothing, of course. My goodness. Well, I'm the one who makes the rules. Nobody else is. So I added in the idea of going overboard. Of course, that's what happened to Edgar, and I feel really bad now because I'm not actually ready to lose him. It's not something I feel emotionally prepared for at this moment in time, but we're going to have to roll for it anyways. So on a d10, I said that the numbers 3 and 7 means that he survives getting tossed overboard somehow and washes ashore. That's probably too high of a likelihood. It's very unlikely that he would have survived. The water would have been cold, and most common people didn't know how to swim in the Middle Ages, so it was actually quite bad news to go overboard in the middle of the sea or the ocean. But I love the guy. I'm not ready to lose him, so let's see how it goes. Well, it looks like we're gonna lose Edgar. Oh gosh. So the family don't know for sure. Selma knows that he was on the boat with her and that he wasn't there, but I think that she is shoving it down, and she's not willing to contemplate that he is not, that she's not going to see him again. I think that she's lying to herself and telling herself that he's okay somewhere, which is understandable. I mean, that's basically what I'm trying to do in my mind right now, too. Oh, that's a bummer. They'll never know for sure, which is kind of tragic, actually, if you think about it. The idea that they'll never know for sure if he's alive or not. I guess in a way it's kind of like a Schrodinger's cat situation where he's simultaneously both alive and not. So maybe it's better that way, but I don't know. I feel like it would be worse. That's just my opinion. Why won't you use this trash bin? Oh, it was knocked over at some point. Good catch, dude. As you saw at the end of the last episode, though, to get to the pressing things that are going on, the deal was made and the cost was pretty high. It was Sandra Smith, Inika Christensen, the youngest of the Christensen children, and little Isolde, the last of Blanche Matthews' line. I didn't actually realize it at the time or even in editing. It wasn't until I was thinking about the episode later that I realized that that means that 3 lines actually ended last episode because it was Blanche Matthews, and that wasn't that surprising because Theo had already passed away. Kenrick as well, who was Edgar's brother, Edgar and Lucia's brother, um, his line had come down to just Harold, and Harold and Valdis did not have any living children, so that line also finished. And the long struggling descendants of original Vilcas's daughter Oshara, which at this point in time is Jelva Lance, her son Miklaus passed away, and so that's the end of her line. Technically, they do have one more son, but he was born once they had already been moved into the background, so I'm not really counting him. Um, and so I'm counting that line as complete. They're in the background, and so I'm kind of counting that one as over. I also received a comment saying, that the families, there's so many of them, and it's really hard to keep track. And I hear you. I do. There is a pretty big event coming that's going to be impactful. It'll change things for us. So don't worry. Oh my gosh, I think she is pregnant. So we will go ahead and just focus on only a handful of families for the next 5 years, meaning that it's not that the other ones are in the background or anything yet. It's just that those are the handful of Sims that we select are going to be the Sims that we actually visit. And the others I'll still update you about in the background, but hopefully if we focus on a certain amount of Sims for a period of 5 years, it's easier to keep track of. And we have that chance to get emotionally invested to them. With them rather. So Edgar really wants his mom and Lucia to meet Mirabelle. It matters to him what they think about her. Of course, he's very close with his family. He's super duper close with his family. Can you talk up Lucia? He's really close with Lucia. He actually kind of always wants to chat with Lucia and hang out with her. And this is one of those times that I actually do wish I had Lumpino's first impressions mod, which I do have in my modern save file. Selma, please stay here. And why can't we ask you to talk to her? Please don't. You can hip bump her. I don't know what those hands were, but I have a very bad feeling about it. Oh no, she and Lucia didn't get along very well. That's unfortunate. Dang, dude. Is Lucia eating again? Didn't she already finish her food? I guess not. And Selma, will you sit here? And in fact, Lucia, will you also sit here? And Esmond, can you come and chat here with her? I know that this is really intimidating, Mirabelle. Oh, she's telling us we're her favorite. Have you guys noticed though that when Sims do this interaction, what they do is at first they say not the favorite, and then you have to let it play through, and then it says forever the favorite. It's so bizarre. Lucia, could you please just sit down? Thank you. Because I think that he wants to tell a dramatic story, brighten her day, discuss interests, and then he's going to say, listen. Selma. My gosh, please. Please sit down. I know there's the steady set mod. It's just that I don't have it. It's not that I'm against having it. I just don't have it. It's just not been something that's been a terrible priority for me. Lucia, please. Sit down. Can you say hi to her and hopefully you guys get along, if you don't mind? So it is kind of bittersweet that Esmond is going to ask Mirabelle to marry him, especially now that his father has passed away, although they don't know that yet. And so it is kind of sad. Did you like her? No, not really. Not even with a cheerful introduction, which normally boosts their relationship like crazy. I'm a little bit concerned that both of our family members don't actually like Mirabelle. It makes me a little bit worried that maybe they see something that we don't see, but maybe they just are kind of sad about everything. Oh my gosh, it's happening. It's hard to get a good angle from here. Everything's in the way. Oh, he's engaged, but it is really bittersweet. It's really, really bittersweet. Since, of course, now we know that his dad isn't going to make it, and his dad will never see this happen, but I don't know. To be honest, I'm kind of in shock about losing Edgar because he's been around for a really long time. And the great irony is that Edgar also passed away the same way that his namesake did. Like if he didn't survive going overboard, that's how original Edgar passed away was during the famine. I accidentally had him. Why did they just get negative romance? Interesting. During the famine, he accidentally went into the water and it didn't end well for him. I don't know if you guys remember that. That was a long time ago. Well, this is going to be really, really awkward if they don't like Mirabelle and they all live here together going through the grief of losing their father. Can you enthuse about the upcoming wedding, actually? You can make a joke about marriage. Maybe they can fix this relationship. Okay, it got a little bit better, kind of. Well, Lucia was just thinking about babies, so maybe she's thinking about how exciting it is to be able to have a baby in the future. Uh-oh. Was that a negative interaction? Oh my gosh, they really don't get along with her. I understand that it is a lot to sort of have to go through, like bringing in a new sim. I imagine it's probably like quite a lot of pressure on everyone, but good grief. Can you hold our hands and just like try to make her feel better? Because this isn't going quite the way that we maybe would have hoped. Like, we would have hoped that our family would have been a little bit more excited and supportive, but I suppose it's a complicated situation. I'm pretty sure that Mirabelle is in fact pregnant. I don't know why she keeps getting negative romantic satisfaction. I don't know what's happening. Once she's in the household, we will figure it out, but they are deeply in love. And they will become soulmates as soon as I have her in the house and can get that put back on more easily. But for now, we'll let her go ahead and do whatever she wants to do. Oh, that's good of you. That's very good of you. And I forgot to look after the goat today. As well as we also need to go ahead and do our taxes because I harvested. I don't think it'll be very much, but we still have to do it anyways. So our taxable harvest comes to $12.88. We owe 50% taxes currently, so we owe 644 simoleons, which means that we'll be left over with 20,355. After selling all of our stuff, we're okay for money currently. Maybe a little bit too okay for money. Selma, if you're doing that, would you mind crafting some nectar? Because we have none in our supply, essentially, currently. And I would say that's less than another golden egg. This is the duck pond one. This is the really good one. Oh my goodness. We'll keep that until the next time we do taxes. Because this is the one that if you sell it from the sales table, you get like 3,400. I'm sorry, not from the sales table, just from a counter. This is from Pied Pipers. I think it's Pied Pipers. I'll put in underneath if I'm wrong. It's from Pied Piper's Duck Pond mod, Functional Duck Pond, which I think is really great. It's a really great mod and it still works. It's just that like we didn't have space rather to put it out here, so we don't have it here these days. And I guess, oh man, I guess now that Edgar is not going to be coming back, Aunt Lucia and Selma have new bed assignments, and Esmond officially is moving into the big bed. Oh, yikes, that feels really cold. You guys should let me know if you think that we should find another solution so that Selma doesn't have to give up her marital bed. Oh, gosh. But we're going to stay here overnight, and tomorrow we'll go and visit Gregory Brewer and see what's new with him and see how life is going there. So I will see you in the morning at the next household. All right, so here we are at the Brewers's. Oops, sorry. So here we are at the Brewers's, where today it's both their daughter's birthday and Piper's going to go into labor. They're going to invite over their good family members, Briar and her husband, as well as Genevieve. So yesterday was Genevieve's birthday. Genevieve was successful with her birthday. She dresses pretty nice now because she works at the haberdasher. Oh gosh. Sorry, kid. Can you please get fed by your father? I didn't realize you were so hungry. So yeah, Piper is in question mark, question mark. She is going to go into labor today. Gregory, like we've talked about in the past, he normally goes out and spends his time out in the wilderness doing nature nomad stuff, but he's back because she's so close to having the baby and he wants to be here to support her through that. Today they'll have a little get together of their family. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and create a club called the London Fam. And I don't really care what. I guess we'll do that since it's the Brewers. Can you go ahead and tell her a bedtime story just in case she's got sleep issues like a lot of the kids do? It's also going to be Griselda's birthday, but Griselda's going to go through a name change. The creator of Piper suggested some names that were much better. I'm not actually really sure why I chose Griselda. I just know that I did. And I kind of regret it now. So, dang, Griselda, don't do it to us. So she's about to become Juniper. She's not going to be named as she is for very much longer. Greg, once you've done that, can you go and use the bathroom? So he probably will stay just a little while after Piper gives birth, to sort of like smooth things over, make sure everything's going well here. But it won't be a crazy long time. He likes being out in the wild. It's a little bit, I mean, if it was real life, it would make a lot more sense because then Gregory, of course, wouldn't be gone for such a long time in terms of his children's life. But if he leaves for even half a year, that's already a pretty substantial part of his children's lives, because of the way that the challenge works. But we can imagine that he leaves for shorter periods of time. They're really happy with each other. They've got super high relationship with each other, super high friendship, super high romance. I have not been able to recreate their soulmate status yet, but I'm sure it'll come over time. I'm loath to try and do it today because the other Sims are going to be coming along. And Piper runs this sort of business while Gregory is away, and she's doing totally fine. They've got good amounts of money. Gregory, do you want to, in fact, go ahead and call everybody over? Coming through the door now, this is our good buddy Genevieve. Genevieve is the youngest sister from the main family. She had her birthday yesterday. She rolled successfully and she rolled to marry, but only have 2 baby tries, which is a pretty low number. She might get lucky or she might not. It's hard to say because some Sims have no problem when they have that few of baby tries, and other Sims, it's a big problem. So that's the news for her. She hates being here in London. She is a plant lover and she actually kind of despises being here in London. She doesn't like her apprenticeship at the haberdashers, and to be honest, she actually doesn't like anybody that she works with either, at all. Like it's really she doesn't. That's cute. She doesn't like anything about it. She wants to be back home. She's a plant lover. She doesn't like the city. She doesn't like much of anything out here. But she doesn't have a choice. Genevieve also doesn't know, of course, that her father went overboard. She doesn't know anything is amiss. She thinks that it's all fine at home because while her family sent word about the wedding, they chose not to tell her about the bad news. They want to tell her in person. And so she actually, it's kind of not really fair because she doesn't know everything that's going on. And she doesn't know, like, she just doesn't know that there's bad news coming. And that's kind of messed up, actually, because it's not really fair to her that they would keep that a secret, but they did what they did, and they had their reasons, I suppose. Oh man, Gregory's having a tough time trying to get along with her. Can you come up here and go to the bathroom? I do think that Briar and Piper would become quite close friends, even though they technically run competing businesses. I mean, Briar, oh, as voted over on Patreon, I guess I should say as well. Gosh, Gregory, this isn't going well for you, huh? As voted for you guys over on Patreon after seeing the dates that Briar went on, Briar got married to the guy who won the vote. It was a guy named Peter Bogert. So she's now Briar Bogert instead of Briar Brewer. And they're okay with each other. Briar really, I think, actually didn't much care to get married, to be honest, but she had to. She has 10 baby tries, and she's currently pregnant with baby number 1. And she might go into labor today, or she might not. But speaking of going into labor, let's go ahead and have the baby. When soon-to-be-named Juniper wakes up, we will do her birthday as well. But for now, let's go ahead and get this baby out of Piper and see how it goes. Go, Piper! Go, 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 Piper! Go, Piper! And it's a boy! We're gonna go with the name Forrest. It was suggested by Wondering, which is the creator of Briar, and it was, of Piper. And it was Piper's surname before, which I think is really cute. So let's go ahead and, what? I'm sure that's not true. I'm sure it's just a thing with this bassinet or whatever. For Piper to survive this birth, she cannot roll the numbers 1 or 11, that's it. She's fine. And for the baby to survive, he cannot roll the numbers 1, 5, 7, 10, 12, 15, 17, or 20. Dang, dude, he didn't make it. That's a bummer. They do have 6 baby tries, so it's not like they're going to completely have a tough time or anything. They've got 4 more baby tries that they can use in an attempt to have the Brewers survive, hopefully. Man, Genevieve really hates being here. I feel really bad for her, actually, because she really does despise being out here. It's just not for her. She doesn't like it at all, and she wants to go home. And the Brewers are trying really hard to make her feel welcome and to make her feel like this is a good place to be and that she doesn't need to be sort of like upset or anything, but she does not want to be here. It is nice, though, that here in the city, they've got each other to hang out with and to be with. What's going on here? I guess they're just congratulating each other about being in the club. Poor Greg, he's like, stranger danger. It's not safe. It's not safe. Actually, do you want to go ahead and purchase some chickens? You guys might like to have some. Griselda, soon-to-be Juniper, is angry. Can you, instead of doing that, please use your diaper, and then Mom will come and change your diaper, and then we'll take you downstairs for your birthday. So Genevieve works at the Haberdashers, just not that far from here. Over here is the Jacobsons. Over here is the church that some of our Sims have gotten married at, and this is where Briar and her husband live. And over here, this is the Haberdashers. It's actually a bunch of small shops. All of the bottom rows of this are all shops. Forget about that mailbox. I didn't see it when I was building. My bad. But yeah, all of the bottom row are shops that are businesses, although the only one that's actually filled in reality is, oh, we can't see it from here, but you can see it through the window, is the Haberdashers. And then upstairs is where they all live. And there's quite a lot of Sims who live at the Haberdashers, but I thought that maybe Genevieve was actually going to have a good relationship with some of them and that she was going to, you know, sort of like meet somebody that she liked romantically there. That is not the way it has gone. She is not interested romantically in anybody that she works with there. She's kind of like actually unattracted to them, and she's not really vibing any of them, to be honest. It's kind of funny. But for now, it's actually little soon-to-be Juniper's birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Juniper. Oh my gosh, calm down over there, chicken. Good grief. She was intense, and now she's an independent missus, as we love it to be. Any toddler who's independent is a good toddler, right? Yeah. Nice. Okay, let's get her in cast and see if she's gonna make it. I think she was just about to kick mom. To survive her toddler birthday, the daughter brewer cannot roll the numbers 4, 8, 12, or 16, so... And she's fine. She is fine. Thank goodness. You're hungry, kiddo. I thought that we had some food up, but I must have put it away. Why don't you go ahead and grab a serving there, fella? And so that's the big news from here, is that these guys are doing pretty okay overall. You know, it's not exactly perfect. Briar isn't exactly super thrilled. Oh my gosh, look at her standing out here just avoiding everyone. Briar's not like mega thrilled about being married, but I think that part of that is the fact that her parents, both of them, died fairly recently. But everything's going pretty okay for the Brewers for now. Like, hopefully Briar's pregnancy goes well and the baby lives and she is totally fine. If not, I'm going to be absolutely devastated. Hopefully Genevieve can find somebody to love that she's really into. Hopefully Peter can make his wife happy. She's a bit of a taskmaster, I think. And hopefully Greg and Piper will have more luck with their babies in the future. But for now, everything's going pretty okay. Everything's going just fine. Can you please scatter some feed, though? Because I realized that we got those chickens, and then... Yeah, Gregory can like small talk. I really want for all of these guys to be very, very close with each other, because I think that it's just really nice for them to have the chance to develop strong relationships. Even though they don't live together, it just feels like it would be quite nice if they could feel closely connected to each other, you know? Feel like they have people that can help them through life. And Gregory, that's sweet, but would you instead mind potty training your daughter? Yeah, Genevieve's doing okay right now because the haberdashers are quite wealthy. They're very in demand. There's a lot of expensive taste people, and they're one of the more respected haberdashers in the area, so they do a lot of, I don't know, stuff for them that haberdashery does. I know they do quite complicated stuff, and I know that they're just developing as a guild around this moment in time. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It's because I've had this longing for a long time in The Sims, which is a longing for handmade sewing, or even sewing with a sewing machine. It's because I miss, there used to be a mod that was called Functional Loom. I think it was also by Pied Piper, but I could be wrong. And it was such a great mod. I loved it so much, but it has been broken, or at least the last time I checked it, it was broken. And I know that Pied Piper has been going through some stuff and hasn't been able to update their mod. So it's one of those situations where that mod, I believe, is not functional anymore. And so there isn't much that can be done. And so I'm kind of looking for a replacement for that, but have not been able to find one. No thanks, Grim. Appreciate the offer. Appreciate that you aren't threatening us as well. I do, I do. But on that note, it's getting pretty late, and there's been a lot of stuff to deal with in the background lately. A lot of births, sorry, not births, a lot of dates, a lot of marriages to set up. So we'll go ahead and pull this episode to a close around here. In the background of this half year, things that have happened are that Marion Greystroke gave birth to a daughter. It was a daughter named Mary. And the baby and her were totally fine for those roles, but it was also her death year, and so she passed away, and Grimm did not listen to the plead to save her. So Marion Greystroke is finished now. At the Miskinnis household, Raphael's son Ritus became a child successfully, and at the Woodhampses, the youngest Woodhamps, Hugh, became a young adult successfully. He was fine, and I just had him move out and move to the background. Like, I really like him, but the Woodhamses have a strong line with Osbert and Joan de Fenwick. And so I feel like we don't really need him anymore. He can be in the background and be safe, unless things go horribly wrong, of course. In addition, Thera Greystroke went into labor today. It was super unexpected. I didn't have her on the spreadsheet. I had no notice that it was going to happen. But she gave birth to twins, twin boys, and miraculously, both she and both of the babies were totally fine for all of the roles. It was completely wild. At the Fitzroy home, Adam the Fourth became a toddler successfully, which is really good because that is the last of Gree's oldest son, Adam's lineage. Now that Isolde is done, all of that line is down to Adam the Third and Adam the Fourth, which is quite a precarious situation to be in, and probably the most precarious situation that any of Gree's line have been in this entire challenge so far. At the de Fenwick home, Jane became a child, and Valdis Payne aged up to young adult. She is out of baby tries. Her husband is deceased, so I'm going to move her into the background and say she can live safely in the background now. And also, Jelva Lance passed her adult birthday successfully, but she is another one who is very much a background sim, so anyways, I hope that you've enjoyed this part. As always, let me know your thoughts and ideas in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everyone.